So 2021 was a really big year for me in terms of how I approached Instagram marketing to my real estate business. So we generate over half of our organic, like raving fan, ideal clients from Instagram for free, not spending ads, just the organic strategies that I teach you here. And the agents in the Market Authority Academy who I mentor also see similar results. And so during 2021, a lot of my approach has actually changed for the first time since 2016. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how my strategy on my most favorite social media platform changed. And then in my next video, I'm going to share what I anticipate to continue to change in 2022. So if we haven't met yet, my name is Stefanie Lugo, and I share all kinds of strategies and tips to help you build your dream real estate business and life. So if you're into that kind of thing and you don't want to miss out on videos just like this, be sure to hit subscribe to this channel and hit that bell notification icon to be notified every time I'm showing up to help you and your business. So one of the biggest things that changed for me in 2021 was I finally gave myself permission, drumroll please, to stop posting every single day. Now, for years, since I started getting really intentional about posting on Instagram in like 2015, 2016, for years I would literally post 7 days a week. And like if I missed a post, it was a conversation between my husband, Bryce, and I, who's also my business partner. Like it was a ball that was dropped. It was as bad, if not worse, than not doing our prospecting for the day, because we knew that it had the power to take our business to the next level, and we were that committed to helping grow our business with Instagram. And I do think that that strategy helped me grow our Instagram account. So we're at Bryce and Stefanie. If you don't follow us there, you can see kind of some of the ways that we're interacting with our audience. But you will see now, and this is almost like scary for me to share in public on a live recording, right? But you'll see now that I really only post like every 1 time a week, or maybe up to 3 times a week on a really good week. And a couple of things happened to change this for me. So number one was, the elephant in the room. It was the pandemic in 2020. A lot of what I was posting involved me leaving the house, going out to restaurants, doing cute photos out in the wild, that kind of thing during showings. But so much of our business moved completely virtual. We had to pivot in order to maintain our production. Now, luckily, that did nothing to change our business production. We had our best year ever in 2020, and then we continued on to have a similarly fantastic year in 2021, which I'm super excited about. But that did reduce the amount of content that I was putting out because I just had to change gears a little bit and start posting about different things. The other thing that changed for me was in 2020, we had our first son. So for a good part of it, I was in the haze of newborn land, right? And so I wasn't really excited about whipping out my phone every 2 seconds, although I was still showing up in the stories basically every day during that time on Instagram. I just wasn't putting up very polished, curated feed posts, carousel posts, long form videos, that kind of stuff. Now, what I found from this giant shift, this is probably the biggest change that I've made to our social media strategy, is just posting less to the actual feed. I found that nothing changed because there are 2 more important factors that I did not change. Number one, I still showed up on stories every single day, just about. I won't say every single day, but just about every single day, I was showing up on the stories, and we do get quite a bit more traction and engagement on the stories. And just for a rule of thumb, about 1 in 4 stories will result in a direct message, and that is where I'm setting appointments. So again, the most important metric here is the number of appointments that we were booking each week, and we did not really see that change through changing this posting strategy. So that was a really crazy aha moment. And you can tell that I'm still trying to come to terms with what that might mean for me as a social media marketer, but so far so good. Now, the other thing that didn't change from here too, beside the stories, was I was still engaging with other people every single day. So this meant leaving comments and responding to posts made by my clients and referral partners and people in my database. I was still responding to direct messages, like I said, and I was still going out and interacting with new accounts and finding new people to connect with because I utilize Instagram as a networking tool. Now, this combination, this kind of strategy is a lot of what we've been testing in the Market Authority Academy and is part of what has helped our agents succeed so rapidly on Instagram, like the Gilligans out of Austin, Texas. So Kevin and Jennifer were brand new agents in August in 2020 and new to the Austin area, but they really wanted to leverage Instagram for their business and were implementing a lot of these strategies. And within 6 months, they started having a ton of traction, not only on social media, but with clients and in growing their authority in their brokerage office as well. And fast forward a year later, 12 months into this, they are mainstays in the Austin market. If you look them up on Instagram, they have absolutely solidified their brand presence, and all of their business now is coming organically from referrals and Instagram leads. So if you're interested in creating a transformation for your business, like the Gilligans, I promise it's possible for you too, because they have seen the success, but also dozens of other agents in the Market Authority Academy have as well. So you can book a time to speak with me directly below, and we can discuss your goals, your challenges, and decide together if working together next year in the Market Authority Academy is a good fit to help grow your business. So besides reducing the amount of times that I was posting each week to the feed on Instagram, the other big thing that I changed was I went all in on Reels. So Reels were debuted a little over a year ago now. They're pretty much mainstays. It's not so much big news anymore here on Instagram, but I do think that it took a little while for a lot of accounts on Instagram to really adapt it. Now, if you saw my last video, I shared my experience with how I've gone viral for me a couple of times on Reels. It's actually been a really awesome way to grow my reach. The reason this is significant with Reels specifically on Instagram is anytime a social network, specifically Instagram, unveils a new feature like something as huge as Reels, what they need to do to justify that cost is get as many users on the platform adapting that in their daily social media routines as possible. So really, the more views and the more engagement on Reels specifically within Instagram, the better for them. And so what they were doing for a long time was really encouraging users to incorporate Reels into their posting strategies and rewarding them by giving them exponentially huge reach, like way larger than they would have gotten just with a feed post or creating an IGTV or going live. Now, I noticed this happening. A lot of us who were posting consistently on Instagram at the time saw this occurring, and so I went all in on Reels. Now, I have seen that kind of taper down a little bit in terms of the massive explosive reach that we were getting, a year ago, but you can still get a ton of reach. You can reach way more followers through this strategy who don't already follow you than you could with just about anything else. And so going into next year, I anticipate I will definitely be using this in my strategy, and in my next video next week, I'm going to share specifically how. But this has been something that I did in 2021 that was absolutely worth my time and effort. Now, the third big thing that I changed to my strategy this year was I got really serious on cross-pollination. Now, I'm not talking about I was gonna try to make a joke, but I don't know enough about bees. I mean, sometimes I just need to stay in my lane. But I worked on cross-pollination. Now, that strategy means bolstering up one social media platform to help support your audience in another. Now, this really works when there are 2 or 3 platforms that have a lot of crossover in terms of subscribers or followers. And the best way to think about this is either TikTok and Instagram or YouTube and Instagram. Now, I went in on all 3, and I'm really glad that I did this with my social media strategy. I went in on TikTok, not as deep as I would have liked to have, but I'm recommitting, so we'll talk about that in the next video as well. But I also have obviously been super consistent here on YouTube. And from a real estate strategy, I'm very, very interested in what a YouTube channel can do for a real estate agent in terms of growing their Instagram, but also growing their brand presence in their market in general. So a lot of the agents in the Market Authority Academy right now are also kind of experimenting with cross-pollinating between YouTube and Instagram. And why this kind of strategy works so well is YouTube is going to get a broad reach. Like, I'd like to ask you, let me know in the comments, how did you find this video? You may have already been subscribed to my channel, which if you're not, here's your cue, go ahead and do that. But likely at some point you Googled for help on a topic that I had made a video about. And Google, since it owns YouTube, was happy to provide a search result from YouTube, and that's how I just got you into my clutches. Just kidding. But you can apply that strategy with just about any real estate market that you serve in. And then what you want to do, you see how I have my Instagram handle up here and how often I'm talking about Instagram? I'm doing that strategically because I want you to connect with me on Instagram, where I'm actually hanging out live in the stories, for example, or posting to the feed every single week. And you and I can do a lot more to nurture our relationship and have direct conversations there than we can here on YouTube, because I'm in my DMs more often and I'm having more direct conversations on the day-to-day basis through Instagram specifically. Now that's cross-pollinating. In doing that with YouTube, between this channel here and my real estate channel that I run with my husband Bryce, geared specifically towards buyers and sellers, that has been really helpful to not only generate more clients, but nurture those relationships as well. I'm really interested to see how TikTok is going to continue to play a factor into that as well. So that's number 3. And finally, the 4th big thing that I finally gave myself permission to do this year on my social media strategy was I've had an opinion. And I think that as social media gets more and more oversaturated, meaning more people are going to start posting things as it becomes more of a mainstream thing to do, it's just a more organic consumer behavior than it was like 5, maybe 10 years ago, even 2 years ago, I would say. This is gonna get more oversaturated, and it's no longer enough to parrot information we hear from other leaders in the industry or other people on social media or what we're seeing out in the market. I think the most important thing that we can do is develop an opinion and then share our opinion on current events and on ways to do things, so that is going to highlight your expertise as a real estate professional and help people understand that your unique perspective is a really good fit for their unique needs. Now, I've gotten very opinionated, not only here on YouTube, I would say, but definitely on Instagram. And I finally decided, if there's somebody who just doesn't jive with my opinion, then they don't have to follow me. They don't have to consume my content. And in fact, it's pretty easy. There's a whole button they can click to unfollow me. And so finally I allowed myself to really start being a little more provocative in the ideas that I was sharing and being a little more opinionated. And what I have found is that it's actually made me even more of an authority in my market, because people are willing to listen to me share a perspective as opposed to just parrot Google search returns. So what do you think? Is this anything that you think is going to serve your social media strategy going into 2022? Well, if you want a little help tightening it up, next week in the next video that I'll be posting is going to share how I'm going to continue changing my strategy up into 2022. So like I said, be sure to hit subscribe to this channel and hit that bell notification icon to be notified every time I'm dropping new videos just like this. I really hope that this video served you on your journey today, and until next time, keep on crushing it.